Yo, 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 what's going on, world? Gorbachev here with none other than Kman, back for NFL Week 14. Let's get it.
Yep. What's going on?
How you doing, Kman? What's going on in your world?
I'm living the dream,
Yeah?
Killing the Bucks, as usual.
Anyone who listened to this last week fucking crushed it.
Yeah? I don't remember. I think I was decently good. I had a couple good
favorites. Through the Chargers we loved.
Yeah, I did love the Chargers. That was a good one. Yeah, I missed one or two, but I think
easy cover.
You're right. I think for the most part, if you look at every one of our lanes, we came up in the black, in the good. So that's
we're just fucking kicking these bookies in the nuts.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, just fucking crushing it.
Yep.
So, dogs did well last week. Won 10 games. Favorites won 6.
Yep.
Of the 16 games. A couple interesting games this week we'll get to. Looking forward to it. Any thoughts from last week you want to touch on? Games or plays or weird that happened?
Well, I mean, my play of the week was the Chargers. That did not look good at halftime, but they're pretty good. Both those teams are pretty good, but Chargers came through for me. That was good, and the Packers also suck. So you got that going for that. Then they fired their coach. So
the Cardinals, man, they're not that bad.
Well, what about the week before to Oakland? You that doesn't count.
That was an anomaly.
What about the other 9 or 10 losses they have? Those were anomalies?
Those were under, what's his name? Wisenhunt? No, not Wisenhunt.
The coordinator before they fired?
Yeah, that's a whole other team, basically.
McCoy, right? Mike McCoy?
Yeah, McCoy. He's fucking retarded.
Okay. I mean, they still aren't great, but okay. I mean, the Packer fans are probably happy now. I think everyone's been calling for McCarthy's head for a while, so I thought it would be end of the season, but I guess it's fine to get rid of him now after an embarrassing home loss there.
They're saying that they're floating Harbaugh's name out there.
Which Harbaugh?
Coach replacement. Jim from Michigan.
Well, that wouldn't be good for a Michigan alumni, if you know any of those.
Nah. That's whack.
So, yeah, we're here on a Friday. We missed the riveting Jags-Titans game yesterday.
That was riveting. Derrick Henry's a stud.
The Jags' coveted defense got absolutely embarrassed by a running back who's been pretty bad all year. So that was impressive. Yeah, so I guess
the Jags. I didn't watch the game, but I heard the Jags just mailed it in, like weren't even trying.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of the game either. I did see some of Henry's highlight runs, and he was very good. But I feel like the Jags were also just half-assed jogging, and they were just getting thrown off him. I feel like they're just lightly swinging at him. It was really embarrassing, just all around. Just very embarrassing.
Oh, pretty big, 6'2", he's 240, so he's not that easy to tackle. But
I get that, but I feel like what pisses me off? 2 weeks in a row. So the Jags the week before, I thought they were going to mail it in. It turns out they showed up 1 week against the Colts when we had the Colts, and then they mail it in the week after. So that's
the NFL for you.
Yep.
A lot of fun, a lot of unpredictability, but you know what they say? It's on TV and there's a line. We'll talk about it.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. It's a lot of games this week. Buys are done.
Yep.
First game, what do we got? Jets at the Bills.
Yep.
Buffalo. I said the Bills are going to be given 3.5 point favorites.
That's a pretty good guess. I said 3 just because to me it's like a complete toss-up game and you give the home team a few. It is 3.5. I guess the Bills have played a little better, so I can see the bump up a little bit, half extra.
What was the actual?
You're right. It was 3.5.
What did you say? 3?
3, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
I could see that, especially after the Bills embarrassed them the first time. So like they might be. I guess they might be a little better than the Jets. But to me, do you not think these teams are pretty even, pretty bad offenses with under rookie quarterbacks with solid-ish defenses? Do they not seem very similar to you?
Darnold's back this week.
So that's what I just said. The rookie quarterbacks. Yeah.
I think Josh Allen's actually played a little better than Darnold has as of late. He's run.
I kind of like
Bills' defense seems better than the Jets' defense, but they're both pretty solid.
I think the Buffalo's defense has been a little more consistent, but they've both shown flashes. They both have some good young. They're both solid, and they've been pretty good this year. They've obviously had some bad games as well, but to me, they're a very similar game. I guess I could see Buffalo deserving a little bit more. They have been a little bit better, I think. But yeah. It's kind of it's.
I don't really love a side here. I think if I had to take something, I'd take the Jets getting 3.5 just because of the revenge angle.
I agree.
Buffalo spanking them again.
I could see it. I don't really have much of a lean either. But again, if I had to take something, I'd just take 3.5 just because to me they're very similar teams. Buffalo might be a little better, but I don't think they're consistent enough to want to lay 3.5 points. I probably wouldn't touch it, but if I had to, take.
But this isn't quite like last night's game, but it reminded me. Last night, if you looked at the game, most people I feel like would have been like, "Oh, the Jags getting 6."
Why?
Like why?
They haven't been that good this year, though. I guess they had one good game last week, so maybe people are back on them. I don't know.
It seemed like an appealing side, and it just was like complete mismatch of teams.
I guess.
Bills, Jets. The Bills might just be a lot better.
But, I don't know about a lot better. The Bills have not been great this year, but I agree that they have been a little bit better than them this year. So I could at home they could end up covering this. I don't think I love it, but the Jets could also win this game. I don't think the Bills are that much better than them. I think it could be a lower scoring. Obviously, I would expect it to be lower scoring. So taking 3.5 points always seems good in tight defensive games to me. But yeah. I don't really love anything. I wouldn't want to.
Big game for my Bills team win total. I think it was 5.5. So if they get this game, they're at 5.
Oh, you need 2 more?
Yeah.
Do they have any good opportunities besides this week to win? I haven't really looked.
I haven't looked, but they need this one, I think, to.
Well, I think because unless they're playing Miami and the Jets a little more after this.
After 2 weeks of the season, that bet looked god awful, and then they beat the Vikings.
Yeah. But yeah,
works out.
Let's move along.
Next.
I have the Carolina at Cleveland game.
Panthers at Browns. What'd you say?
It seems like pretty much a toss-up. I said Cleveland -1.5 at home, but it's pretty much a pick. I think it should be right around a pick 'em, but I said I thought I like Cleveland a little, but
you made Cleveland a favorite. I was actually unsure. This was around a pick 'em. I thought. I actually made the Panthers a favorite.
1.5.
2.5 point favorite.
It's a little. It's right around there. It's Carolina's -1. So we were right in the ballpark of a toss-up game to me, which I guess I guess Carolina's been a little better this year, but Cleveland's at home, so it seemed kind of like a 50-50 to me. I do kind of think Cleveland's a kind of bit on the upswing and Carolina's a little on the downswing. That's why I made it that. But it doesn't surprise me that Carolina's kind of been a better team than Cleveland for a while. So I could see it being a small favorite. But I think I like Cleveland at home here. I don't think Carolina's been very good, and I think Cleveland's been a little bit better of late. So
I think it's a good buy low on the Panthers this week. They've been playing pretty bad, but I still think, like you said, overall they're just a better team. And I think
I don't think they're that much better though. I think Cleveland's getting better. I think Denzel Ward's out, which actually kind of makes me hesitant. He's very good. I still think
the Browns have played well this year, but I feel like the steam is just running out a little bit, and Baker is showing his he's a rookie, and that's how he's playing lately.
Who?
Baker.
Baker's been all right. I think Baker's been pretty good. I think he's the best.
Their ass is stomped out by the Texans, who are
Texans are good though. The Texans are better than Carolina, and this is a home game too. Which I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I don't love it. Again, with Denzel Ward out, definitely hurts in my opinion. But I do like Baker. I do like a lot of. I think Cleveland's getting better.
The Panthers are still in the playoff hunt. They're 6-6.
I know, but
this feels like the game where like the Panthers just get back on track. And if this was like a couple weeks ago, this game would be like Panthers minus like 6.
Yeah, but I also never believed in the Panthers even when they were 6-3. I think they probably are slightly better than Cleveland, but I think Cleveland, like I said, has been getting better. I don't think Cleveland's that bad. I don't think
they're that bad either, but I think there's just steam has run out for them, and
why? I mean, it's fine. You can. I don't.
Really, they're out of the playoff picture basically now.
They were out of the playoff picture. They haven't. They were not. After they have. I mean, I don't think they were really a playoff team to be honest, but they are getting better, and they're playing for like experience, and like I don't think they're giving up or anything because a lot of them are young. They're trying to get better.
That's why I kind of think this would be a good over. I think the Panthers will score 28, 30 points, and I think Baker will be throwing a lot of the game. So that he could match Cam score for score almost and probably run out of steam towards the end, like 30 to 21 type.
See that, and Ward's out, which hurts. But I don't love the game. I mean, I think Carolina's might be a little better, but I think Cleveland at home could win this game for sure. If I had to take it, I'd take Cleveland, but I wouldn't. I don't think I feel great about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if this is like 35-10 Panthers, you know?
I guess, but I don't think Carolina's that. I could see that in the realm of possibility.
I think that's a good chance in the range of outcomes. But yeah, I would like the Panthers there. I think this is a good buy low on them, and I don't think they're that great of a team. I just think they're a step up from the Browns.
How big step up?
Yeah. All right. What's next? Got the Falcons at your boys Rodgers.
I mean, I've been
Mike McCarthy-less Packers.
I know but I have been very down on Green Bay all year. I've said that I don't think they're a good team besides Aaron.
You love Rodgers, so
I do, and I hate Matt Ryan. So this is a battle of maybe my least favorite against my favorite quarterback.
So what'd you make the line?
So two of the more underachieving teams that just.
This is also, before you guess, I think this is another one where I thought either team could be favored.
Wow, then you're probably a little off. I said Green Bay minus 3.5, just because it's kind of you got to give the home team a few, and I think that people still kind of like the Packers always get that bump like every time, even they've been huge favorites in games they don't deserve to be. So that's what I was thinking at least. What did you have?
I agree with that they had to be favorites, but because of how crappy Green Bay's played, I said they were a 1.5 favorite.
So the line is -4, but when I looked earlier in the week, it was near 6 to start. So Green Bay opened pretty favored, and it's been dropping. So it's moved down to kind of more what we were thinking.
That's because we're super sharp and know what's going to happen. And
yeah, so Vegas adjusts their lines to what we say, of course.
Basically, Vegas is waiting on the Kman and Gorbachev podcast release to hear what we were going to say, and then the lines moved.
Yep. No, but
that's basically what happened.
I mean, 6 would have been way too high. I would have definitely taken the Falcons. I don't think either team's very good, but they're similar to me. They both have quarterbacks that have been solid, bad defenses, and a couple good offensive skill players. And then I think solid offensive lines. I'd say Atlanta might even have a little bit better line. But
is Julio Jones playing? I thought he was questionable.
I think so. I think I saw he was going to play. So I think going to the assumption he's playing if you
want a good motivational angle, I think this is a good motivation for Rodgers and the Packers to come out.
Why? Because they fired the coach?
Yeah, I mean, there's just I feel like there's been a lot of talk in the media of like Rodgers is a prima donna and like it's his fault. McCarthy got fired, so he can shut everyone up by coming out and slinging 4 or 5 touchdowns and being like, yeah, I'm still the fucking man. This is McCarthy is holding me back, you know?
Who's the fill-in coach? Joe Philbin, right?
Philbin?
Yeah. To me, 4 is still a little bit high. I don't think Green Bay is a lot better than Atlanta. I think it is a little tough. Atlanta's kind of obviously a team down in the Dome, and this is in Lambeau getting cold. So you got to look at that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't feel great about this, but I just think it's a toss-up, and I guess I'd take the 4 points if I had to take something here. But I could see a lot of different things happening here. I do think, obviously, it's probably a very high total, but depending on what the number is, it seems like
56 and a 55, 56?
51. That's a little bit low to me, but I guess it is probably cold in Green Bay now, but still, I don't know. I think they're relatively close.
The Falcons have been burning people this year. I feel like they just have not covered a lot of games this year.
I agree. I don't think they've been very good this year. I don't. Do you have a lean here?
Not really. I would probably, this is the past game. If I had to, I'd probably take the Packers and lay the points, but I don't feel that strongly about it.
Yeah, I don't feel
Atlanta's just a fucking dumpster fire, and playing outside, I just don't trust Ryan on the road, even though he had that good game against the Redskins. I just don't. Oh wait,
that's reasonable. That's a pretty reasonable view. I don't know if I trust Green Bay right now laying points with how bad they've been. And honestly, I love Aaron Rodgers, but he has not been that great this year. His numbers look fine, and for anyone else's standards, they'd be very good. But
yeah,
I just feel like watching him, he's been I feel like he's been he hasn't run as much. He's been getting sacked a lot. He's throwing the ball away a lot, and his numbers look all right, but I don't know.
I see a different Aaron Rodgers mentality though with this with the new regime, or just no McCarthy, and who knows what's going to happen. I think it just says a lot that Vegas started at 6. Like, where the fuck do they get that number from? Like, obviously there's a lot of belief and trust and faith in Rodgers to have a strong game, if that's where they started this line. I think if you look at it from that angle,
I think it's been like that all year though. Even though they've been bad, look at them. They were 14-point favorites last week. They were 10+ point favorites against Miami, who's been decent this year. They were under against the Pats. They were not a huge underdog against the Rams. Like, they get respect just because of Rodgers and what they've.
They were 8-point underdogs against the Rams, and
that was the one game that we thought they were a little. But every other game, even the the Patriot game. But yeah, just for the most part, they just get a few points just out of respect for Rodgers and what they've been historically, because they're a popular team.
I mean, who knows how they'll really come out. If I was to bet on it, I would say I'd put my faith in Rodgers and be like, he's going to step up and throw the ball around a lot. And
I'd take the over if I had to take anything. 51 seems. I think it's kind of two better offenses. If I had to, I'd go over probably. And I guess Atlanta, but I wouldn't bet it. If I had to pick a side, I'd take the points, but I wouldn't bet them. I'd rather the over.
Okay, feel that. Next we got 1:00. Colts at Texans. Good rivalry game, AFC South. Let's hear it. I said the Texans are 6-point favorites.
I had Texans -5.5. So right in the same
ballpark.
It's
I might have been low on this, but what is it?
We're a little high. 4.5. Little love for the Colts there. I mean, the Houston has the longest winning streak in the NFL. They've been pretty good. But I guess people still, even after a pretty dismal showing last week, the Colts have been on the rise as well. And we talked about how we do like them. I like both these teams, and I think this is a very good game, and it's a huge game for the Colts. They really need it if they want to get.
Yeah,
it's a very big game for the Colts here.
I'm still not sold on the Texans for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't think.
Who do you think's better, Indy or Houston?
I think the Colts are a better team.
Wow. I mean, I don't think they're that far off.
No, I think the Texans have a better defense.
So I think the Texans are a very complete team. I think actually the Colts are pretty complete as well. But I think they're close. I think Houston's slightly better, but I think they're right in the same.
You're also getting a team who's a dome team coming to play Houston in a dome, which is good for them. Coming off a shutout, so fresh in the public's mind is Colts got shut out, didn't cover as a favorite. You're getting 4.5 points. What is it?
Yeah, 4.5.
It should be a pretty tight game. I would take Luck over Deshaun Watson.
I mean, if you're looking just quarterbacks, I agree. But I think besides the quarterback, I think Houston has a slight edge almost everywhere else. But I don't think the Colts are that far behind them. Maybe the line is a little better for the Colts, but I think Houston's just a teeny bit better version of them. But again, I agree. I think this is after a bad showing last week by the Colts. I think Houston's bound to have a letdown a little bit. They're not going to win out. They're good. I don't think they're like a 9-10. They're not unbeatable or anything. So
yeah.
If it was near our guess, what would we say, 5.5, 6, both of us, that range, I think that would have been nice for the Colts. 4.5, it's not as good to me, but
I think if they realized if they set it at like 6, 5.5, they would have taken a shitload of Colts money.
But I mean, Houston's won 8, 9 in a row. They have a lot of big names, so I don't know how
it was going to be around 6, but apparently Luck and the Colts are still pulling in some respect. I think a lot of it comes down to when they played outside in Jacksonville. Now they're back in a dome. I think that helps them.
Well, also the Jags D can be good at times, and it was that game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong lean on this. I don't think I'd take. Again, I guess I'd take. Usually, if I'm kind of on a toss-up and I don't really know, I'd go with points. So I guess I kind of agree on the Colts, but I don't think I don't feel strongly about it. I do think Houston's bound to have an off game at some point. I don't think they're the best team in the league by any means. So I could see the Colts winning this, even winning, let alone covering anything.
I would not be surprised if they go in and win this game.
They could win it. I agree.
Cool. Next game. Good game.
Yeah, so was the last one.
Pretty good slate this week, actually. Next game is the Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Real quick before we go into this, last week the Chiefs were at Oakland, right, off a bye. We forgot about the Andy Reid off a bye, and he didn't cover after all that. But that's one of our. We always call out Andy Reid off a bye is a very good opportunity. But I mean, they pulled out the game pretty handily, but didn't cover. This is a good game again. What'd you have?
So I said the Chiefs are giving 7-point favorites.
I was a little high, maybe a lot high. I said 8.5 just because I really like the Chiefs this year, and I feel like I don't like Lamar Jackson. I don't think you can consistently win with like a guy who can't throw the ball, but they have been winning with him.
Well, I feel like you got to incorporate that like extra tax that you got to put on the Chiefs this year just because they've been so dominant.
That's kind of what I did there too. And Baltimore has a very good defense, so
Baltimore's a very good team, so you can't make it too high.
I agree. I do think that
I've been shocked if this is actually under a touchdown, but what is it?
It's 6.5.
All right, so I was right there. Yeah,
I was a teeny bit high, but I feel like Baltimore's D is very good. Their offense, I don't trust to keep producing like they have. They have some no-name running backs. All their receivers aren't that good. The Crabtree hasn't been that great. John Brown's been bad lately. Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball. That's kind of the issue. But they've been running it wildly with him with like options. They look like a college offense out there.
Yeah, they're gonna like dominate the clock, slow it down, run the shitload, keep Mahomes off the field.
I don't know. I don't feel great about it, but I think under a touchdown, it's hard not to take the Chiefs here. They're so dominant. They've been so dominant this year, and at home under a touchdown, I do kind of like it. Baltimore's D is very good. Chiefs' offense is just as good, if not even a little bit better. Is it the number one offense versus the number one defense? It's definitely top 2 or 3 in there. But I think I'd lean the Chiefs here. I've been kind of fading Lamar Jackson. I feel like wheels are bound to fall off with him, but it's hard to just completely write off with how good the Ravens defense is. So I don't feel great about it, but I think I'd take the Chiefs under a touchdown here.
I feel like the Chiefs, you feel like people have been slowing down. They've been slowing down a little bit.
I don't know.
They still won 2 of their last 3, but they haven't covered. They might, depending on what line you got in the Rams game, they're either 1-2 in the last 3 against the spread, or 0-3.
No, they covered the Rams or they pushed. It
Oh,
was
okay.
3.5 to 3.
So you either 1-2 or 0-2-1 with them.
Yeah, I mean,
A little bit of a skid from a covering the spread
so,
perspective.
to me, they're also they could have a bounce back. They didn't cover against Oakland last week, but they were never really in jeopardy of losing. Which I mean, they should really kill them though. And then what was the
You also got to consider they have an at-home on-deck game Thursday night, short week against the Chargers. Big game for them. I don't know if they're going to be doing any look-aheads, but that's something to keep in mind.
I wouldn't look past the Ravens. The Ravens are historically good, and they have a very good defense. So you could think that, but again, if they lose this game, then it's that they already lose a game on the Chargers right there. So it's tough to look ahead if you're trying to win the division. But that Thursday game will be awesome, maybe for the division too. So I don't know. Again, it's hard to. You are getting a lot of points there for that good of a defense, but I have a little bit of a feeling. I just think the Chiefs are one of the best teams. I think they're a little bit better than the Ravens, to be honest, this year. So I think I'd take them if I had to take something there. I'd take the Chiefs under a touchdown.
As much as I don't trust Lamar Jackson, I feel like he can play well enough as a game manager to just manage and not fuck it up or turn the ball over. And I would bank on the Baltimore defense, just like keeping Mahomes in checks. I'd probably take the Ravens too.
That's the key. I don't think Lamar Jackson can throw it. If they can really run the ball that well, to me, I feel like it's really bothered me because
they still have weapons. They still got John Brown. They got Crabtree.
They don't throw the ball. They really threw like 12. They had like 12 or so completions. They don't throw the ball at all. And he's very inaccurate. But the whole thing is if they can really milk the clock and run all over the Chiefs. But I feel like a NFL defense really should be able to stop a completely run-based offense. Like they gotta make Lamar beat them with his arm. But I just feel like the Chiefs have been rolling and they're at home here. I'd take them. I feel like
I wish it was 7 to take the Ravens, but
7 would have been tough. I'm glad it's under 7. That's why I'm kind of leaning the Chiefs here. But I don't feel great about it because Baltimore is solid. But also just looking at it, ignoring everything here, Flacco wasn't great, but Lamar Jackson can't really throw it. The Chiefs are a better team than them. They're 10-2. Baltimore's had that skid where they looked awful for a while too. So
they have, but they've won 3 in a row.
No, I know, and I'm not saying Baltimore's bad, but I don't trust Lamar. He has 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's inaccurate, and you're getting the MVP, probably front runner right now, and this really unstoppable offense so far this year.
Front runner is Aaron Donald.
You can, fine. One of the top. You can think that. I don't think they give it to anyone but quarterbacks anymore with how the game plays. Aaron Donald's great. Don't get me wrong. Mahomes has been amazing. So I think, I feel like I've been fading Lamar Jackson for a couple weeks now, and it has not worked. But I do think the Chiefs are a better team. I think they're better.
All right, a little sunk cost bias coming into play there.
What do you mean? I've been against. I just been
getting deep on the fading Lamar train.
No, it's not. No, sunk cost. I don't know. I disagree. I just don't think he's an NFL caliber quarterback. But it's eventually NFL defenses will adjust a little bit to him. I guess it's taken some time, but he's too inaccurate to me to be a starter long term.
Should be a good game.
It's 2 very solid teams, probably both in the playoffs, or Baltimore's at least in the playoffs.
Top defense versus top offense. Usually, I feel like the top defense wins those battles. But home, the Chiefs' offense is like next level. So
should be a good game. I agree, but I guess we have different leans there. A couple disagreements so far this week.
That's good. Makes for good radio.
Yeah, everyone will see how much smarter I am than you, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm just kidding.
I'll bet a ham sandwich.
Okay, there we go.
All right, what's next?
You have to listen to the end. We'll put something on the line for the ones we disagree on. New England at Miami. What'd you have?
I said the Dolphins are 8-point underdogs at home.
I had 8.5.
All right, same in that ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it'd be over 7, under 10.
Did this get to double digits?
No, we're a little hot. It's 7.5.
All right.
Seems a teeny bit low to me, but I mean, I guess Miami's been solid and they are at home.
Yeah, they've been pretty decent, but the Pats are just like the Pats and quiet. They're actually kind of quietly rolling right now. Like
And
no
not
one's
quiet. Like
no one's really talking about them.
Last week I was saying
Cowboys, Chiefs.
last week you talked me into Minnesota, and I kept saying I don't want to go against Belichick and Brady at home. And I shouldn't have done it.
I got slammed. They got slammed there. They got me. Belichick, Brady.
Belichick and Brady. I don't like messing with them. I don't usually like betting on the games because usually the spreads are very high. It's tough to really do much with. Again, this one I don't really. It's a divisional game. I don't really like. It's between 7 and 10 where it should be. I don't really have a strong lean on this. I really don't even have any lean. I don't even know what I'd take in this.
Yeah, I don't really have a strong lean either. I mean, I think right off the bat, getting 8 with the Dolphins, who play tough, it's all right.
7.5, yeah.
7.5. But I mean, they're playing pretty decent. They play hard for Gase, and they're what are they 6-6 right now?
Yeah, I feel like they are.
7-6 now, right?
Yeah, they're 6-6. I just feel like I didn't have any faith. I haven't believed in them at all this year, but they keep winning some games. They keep proving me wrong on a couple games. But again, if you look on paper at these teams, you got Belichick and Brady. It's hard to go against that. But it is a lot of points too. So I don't really think I'd do anything with it. It's a divisional game too. So
divisional game. I actually think the Dolphins defense plays pretty tough.
I could see that. You know what? I see the Patriots winning by like 7, but I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, they got crushed in New England earlier this year, 38-7. So they have a little bit of revenge now.
I mean, having the Patriots literally beat every team in the division handily for the last 10 years, I don't know if you can really call anything revenge. Like, do you disagree? Like, they sweep the division. Like they killed the division.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I get that they want to beat them, but I wouldn't really. That's not why I'd bet on the game. I guess it is a divisional game over a touchdown, so Miami's not bad. But if I took Miami here, when I bet you a third quarter, Patriots up like 20-24, I'd be like, what the hell was it?
Looking at all the angles here, Patriots have the Steelers on deck in Pittsburgh. Actually, last year, they had the same arrangement where the Patriots were in Miami the week before Pittsburgh, and that's when they lost. They lost 27-20.
To who? Miami?
To Miami. So
yeah, I don't know.
Something worth considering.
I guess. I mean, I could see arguments on both sides here. I'm not touching this game. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's move along. I don't want to waste too much time on it, unless you have any other points you want to make.
They held the Patriots to 25 rushing yards in that game last year, and I think their defense has gotten better.
But they also have better running backs than they did last year.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Another divisional game, similar type field from the last game. Saints at Bucks.
Saints at the Bucks. What was your guess?
A little higher than the last one. I had Bucks +9.
Yeah, I was right there. I said Bucks getting 8.5.
Yeah, this one just got to double digits. It's 10.
It's 10. Wow. Okay.
I see 9.5 some places, but 9.5, 10. I see 10 on Pinnacle where we're looking. So
I feel like people are gonna be like, "Oh, Saints with revenge."
Revenge? What do you mean?
Like,
because they lost week 1.
Week 1, yeah. They got destroyed by
Fitzpatrick. By 7. They got destroyed their defense got destroyed. Yes.
And they're coming off of that Dallas loss.
Yeah. So and they're off a loss, and this is one of their 2 losses on the year against. And it's not a great team, but I mean, I do think Tampa's played a little better of late. I obviously the Saints are a much better team. It's again, this feels similar to the last game with me. It's hard to really do much with this here. I don't know what to do because I think it is a divisional game, and Tampa's playing a little bit better, and they're at home, so that's nice with 10 points. But then again, it is the Saints like angry off of both of the two things you said. They did lose to this team, and they're off a really bad game, so it's hard for me to. I could see both of those. Like I have reasons to think both sides here, so I don't know if they're doing.
It seems like the Saints is the obvious side. I feel like, but the Bucs are actually playing pretty well, and surprisingly, their defense is what's playing better now.
Well, their defense was atrocious, so it's gotten better, but I still don't think it's good. I'd be shocked if they.
Well, they were saying how the Bucs in the last 4 weeks have the second most or most amount of sacks because they had to change the defensive coordinator. I forgot who their coordinator is now, but they're just playing a lot better on D and actually getting pressure on the quarterbacks. And if they do that to Breeze, I think Jameis and that offense is good enough to stay in the game.
So it sounds like you're leaning Tampa, but I thought you were just saying Breeze.
I think Tampa at home, not in a dome for Breeze, should keep this game close.
It's possible, but again, I see
they might just implode and shit the bed and be 38-10 Saints.
I think there's so many ranges of outcomes here. I do think the Saints are going to win.
Do you see it in any of the ranges of outcomes the Bucs win? I do.
I'd be shocked. I mean, anything's possible in the NFL, and they did beat them in New Orleans, which was more shocking than this would have been. But I don't think it's going to happen. But, I mean, I guess theoretically anything could happen. I just think there's too big a range here. I could see the Saints coming out pissed and blowing them out. I could see it being a tight back-and-forth game, too, offensively. I think it would be high-scoring.
Saints also have extra time.
It's probably really high number total. So
56.5.
Let me see. 55. I see. Yeah. So 54.5, 55. I mean, it seems like it seems more of a shoot. Like the first game was a shootout. It seems like it could be a shootout to me, but it's a lot of points. I don't think I do.
Also got Jameis in this game. I think he hasn't had a chance to play the Saints yet.
This year or ever? This year.
This year, yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
No, just for him, his personal motivation. He wants to go out and beat them, divisional rival. He wants to secure the job, to establish himself as the franchise quarterback. Yeah, I don't see it's that ridiculous to see the Bucs coming out hot, score a touchdown, make a stop, and then they're up.
Play good. They have a good offense that can make big plays.
If the Saints start off slow, they could be down 10-0, and then there's no chance or very small chance they come back and cover the game.
They could cover. They could go down 10-0 early and cover. Their offense is so explosive, and they're off a bad week. I don't think I like this game enough. I don't think I have much of a lean. I don't even know who I'd take. So
maybe you said over.
Yeah, it's a little high. It's a little high for my liking, but it does seem like two pretty nasty offenses, and the Saints off a bad game on offense too.
Yeah. I wouldn't do the Bucs. I don't think that I'm not that strong about it though.
Okay. Last 1 o'clock, I believe. Giants at Redskins.
This is a 1 o'clock still?
I think this is the last 1 o'clock. I can double check.
Yeah, the next game's in San Diego. Okay. So this is
not San Diego, LA.
LA, my bad. What did you go?
I thought this was a weird one just because the Giants have been bad, but the Redskins are just falling apart. They're up to Mark Sanders.
What do you mean the Giants have been bad? They've been hot right now.
The Giants have been bad this year. They've won a few games.
Yeah, they've been hot.
They've edged out the Bucs, Niners, and they actually had a good win against the Bears, which they almost blew. But besides that, they haven't been good. They also choked against the Eagles. I agree. The Giants are playing better, and this is what I thought they would kind of be coming into the year.
They're not pulling a Jaguars and quitting. They're not mailing it in.
Yeah, but they're hurting themselves. They're not making the playoffs, and they're better off with a better pick at this point. But they're still trying, and the Washington's just done. They're really just done. I mean, no one really believed in them when they even had a decent quarterback. Now they're on their third string, who sucks. I had Washington plus 2.5 at home.
Wow. Okay. I actually thought the wheels are falling more off for Washington. I said they were 4-point underdog.
Yeah, it was right in between. You're closer. It's 3.5, which I mean that makes sense. I could see that. I was almost going to do 3, but I just thought it was a lot for Washington State. Still kind of besides, I mean, the Eagles game, and they were kind of in that a little bit.
I mean, if Colt McCoy doesn't get injured, I think they could have easily won that game.
Yeah, I agree, and they also were kind of in that Dallas game covering it, at least, like covering coverage wise. They could have.
All it comes down to is just Mark Sanchez, though. Like,
I agree, and it's
fucking awful.
Yeah, and if it was 2.5, I would have taken the Giants. So I guess I could. That's I was thinking 3 also, but I mean 3.5 makes sense. I guess you can't really take Washington at this point with the quarterback they have. So I guess you're kind of taking the Giants or not touching it, right? What do you think?
Pretty much. I think Washington's literally as close to unbettable as it gets.
I'm with you on that. I mean, it's tough. What are you going to do? You can't take Mark Sanchez. It's that simple. If you want to take something, go. The Giants have played better and they have some studs. So yeah.
The problem is, how much do you like? Does Shermer want to win to for job security and momentum into next year, or is he getting calls from the front office to improve their draft position? Like they could.
They've already heard it by winning 3 of the last 4. Close. They've won 3 of the last 4, so they're already kind of hurt there. So I think they're going to go out. They're going to go out. I think they're going out there and trying to win for sure. So I think I take the Giants here. I don't love it because the Giants have been great, but it's hard. You can't really take the Redskins. It's really.
I think this is a no play of no plays for me.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't feel great. I don't think it's. If it was under 3, I would have taken them, but 3.5 is a little riskier.
Close game. Someone goes for 2 or something at the end. Like
defense is still decent, but I feel like it's just devastating with what they've had to deal with on the offensive side. Again, yeah, I guess it's Giants or nothing for me. I guess if I had to take it, I'd take them, but I don't love it. It's a divisional game still,
Yeah, and also the Giants have a little bit of motivation because that last game was when it was kind of close, or the Redskins were soundly beating them, and then AP ripped off that 80-yard run against the Giants. Is he out this game? I think he might be out, or he just didn't practice today, this week. But regardless, it's either
any news. I don't know. Either way, I mean, to me, it's
just the Giants or nothing.
They should stack the box against Sanchez. I don't see how they run much. I don't see how Sanchez does much. The Giants have been playing a little better of late, obviously. So I think they win this game. But again, it could be tight as a divisional game on the road here. But it's tough to take anything with Sanchez. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's slightly on the Giants. Yeah.
Cool. All right. What's next? 4 o'clock. We got. I
got Bengals at Chargers.
Bengals at the Chargers. This one I had definitely into double digits.
Gotta have double digits there.
I had the Chargers giving 12.
I had a little higher. I had 13. The Bengals not played great, and they're on their backup quarterback, and the Chargers have been one of the best quietly good teams in the NFL. They've probably, because they're not leading the division, so I guess they haven't gotten as much love, but they look as good as almost anyone right now. Maybe just below that top tier, but it's actually 14, so both of us were even a little low.
Wow.
To me, my thoughts usually on the big spreads. It's hard to really do much with them unless you think the dog could keep it close, and I don't trust Cincinnati here, so I don't think I'd take anything.
Well, what's the argument to take the Bengals?
That's what I'm saying.
To play devil's advocate, I would say Driscoll isn't that bad.
But you said Dalton's not that. Driscoll's hasn't shown me anything. I don't know.
I'm just saying in general, he's okay. He's competent.
He's a decent backup. He's okay.
Not like Mark Sanchez. And the Chargers have a game Thursday night at Kansas City on deck. They might be sleepwalking through this game.
Yeah, you could go with. It's possible. It's hard to. I don't know that they will do that. It's possible. I think the Chargers defense is very good. I just think the Chargers are a very good team here. I think Cincinnati's kind of done. AJ Green's on IR now. I don't know what they have left really. I feel like they're kind of just banged up. They lost their quarterback. and their defense is bad anyway. So I mean, the Chargers are just all around better.
I
In
don't
every
have much
aspect.
of a convincing argument to take the Bengals. I'm just trying to see
No, I
what
get it. You're
someone
just
conceivably see in them.
yeah.
Or
I mean, it's
I
tough though.
think
With
you're
14,
getting 14 points with an NFL team at the end of the day.
it's hard doing either side. Like, I mean, to me, it's hard to make an argument for either side because like the Chargers, you're right, they could look ahead a little, but to me they should still win the game, but it could be a little closer than expected, which would be why you take the Bengals. But they're also if they play up to how these two teams are, the Chargers should win by 20 plus.
Right. This is like a classic at-home Chargers win 45-10, like they did against the Cardinals.
But it is sandwich. This is a bad team sandwiched between two good ones, so they could play down to their competition. They have historically played down to their competition, so it's hard for me to lay 14 with them. I don't think I'd touch it, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I think it would be, for me, Bengals or nothing.
Yeah, usually that's what I do. If it's that big a spread, I'd try to go with dog, but I don't think I trust them enough to take it, so I wouldn't touch it.
Got it. All right.
Yep.
Game.
Next, I got the Broncos at Niners.
It's another lopsided game, actually.
Yeah, but it's at least on the road here.
Yeah, I said this one is similar, I thought, to I don't know who, but I said the Niners were getting 6.5. I kept it under a touchdown.
I was a little I went kind of low here. I said Niners plus 3.5. I thought it would be
good, man.
I agree, I know, but they're still on the road, and
you said 3.5. Wow.
I thought it would be between 3 and 6. I went a little on the lower end. This opened it's +4, so I was close. It opened at 6 though, so I don't know why people are liking San Fran here. I'm not. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but it's moving down. So it's 4, and I mean, I thought it would be between 3 and 6. I don't really know. I mean, Denver's definitely making a push for the playoffs here. They're playing better, but they are on the road. They haven't been a great road team. San Fran's kind of bad though, so I mean, it seems kind of easy here to go Denver, but I don't know if it's sketchy. Do you disagree?
That does seem pretty sketchy. The line is 4. You said 4.5.
4.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at home it's a good it's a good spot for the Niners. Possible letdown spot for the Broncos.
Actually, I even see 3.5 on this other app I'm looking. So it could be it's down near where it's down getting closer to 3, but just over. So I mean, it does seem you are getting over a field goal if you think it'll be close. But Denver's been pretty good. I guess they lost Sanders, which kind of hurts.
Yeah, their offense. I mean, they have Lindsey, but then their passing offense is going to be pretty one-dimensional. Like, what are they just relying Cortland Sutton and like Jeff? What's his name? Lacrosse. Matt Lacrosse.
I don't even know who they have Sutton, who hasn't shown me, I don't even know why that's like a name we'd even mention. He hasn't done anything to really deserve being called the.
They also lost Chris Harris Jr.
Wait, what about him? He's out.
He tore his ACL.
Ooh, yeah, so they're a little banged up. Maybe that's why it's moving. I mean, yeah. Denver's kind of banged up on the road here. It could be a tight game on the road. I guess that's what it seems like.
Probably a big game for Shanahan to like get the team back on track and like get everyone pumped up and
I think Shanahan's job's safe, even though I think they're going to give him a little bit more time.
Job's at risk just for momentum and going into next year, and I think they're healthy. They're healthy on offense. They got Goodwin. They have Dante Pettis is making plays. Kittle.
They're still like their third string quarterback, an undrafted free agent, and who hasn't been that good. I don't like this. I don't feel great about this.
The game does smell fishy with that line though, and I'd probably just lean towards the home team.
It is sketchy. Denver's been playing a lot better, but I mean, maybe they're in a tight battle on the road here. San Fran's looked pretty much dead in the water the last few weeks. They've gotten blown out, I feel like, by everyone.
But people also thought they were laying 5 at the Bengals, and everyone thought I kind of thought they were going to run out of steam there and sell them high. But they came out and played and murked the Bengals.
Yeah, but then why is this going down? It's scaring. It's really weird. I don't know what's
They
going on.
also have a pretty winnable next 4 games. They have at Niners, versus home against Cleveland, and then at the Raiders before closing out against the Chargers. So they could win. If they win this Niners game, then they have 2 winnable games before the Chargers. I mean, they could make that AFC playoff push. On the other hand, you could say, like, maybe just don't overthink it and take Denver, who's only laying 3.5 against their much better team. Like,
That's what I was thinking, but it's
so
sketchy.
obvious, though.
It does, and it's too sketchy for me. I also think Denver has played a little better. I don't think they're that good, though. I don't think they're one of the best 6 teams in the AFC. I think they're decent. I think they're solid, above average, but I don't think they're really a playoff team, to be honest.
Right.
I don't. Yeah, let's. I don't. It's too sketchy. I'd say lay off, to be honest. Let's.
Fair.
What do you think? You have a pick?
Yeah,
or?
I don't feel strongly about it, but I probably think the Niners will seem like the play, but I'm not really sold on it.
Both sides during this talk, we've both kind of gone back and forth a little, which makes me think just stay away if you're kind of that back and forth on it.
I would say, though, this is probably a lower total, and I would lean over because I think if the Niners do build that lead, I think their offense is pretty decent. I think Denver's going to have to be throwing it and trying to stay in it. I could see it being like a low 40s, and it could easily go over. 42.5, 43?
44.5, 45, I'm saying, that range.
That's even higher than I thought, but that's like a game where people would think it's going to be low scoring, but I actually think it'll be higher scoring.
I'd say just don't touch the game. Another great game coming up here. The game of the week.
What do you got?
Lions at Cardinals.
Nice. This was one that I was really torn on who the favorite was.
I was as well.
But I ended up settling on the Cardinals giving 1.5. Cardinals minus 1.5.
Oh. Of course you did, because you're the biggest Cardinal fan I've ever seen, apparently.
Yeah.
This was a complete I looked at this for a while and I just said it's 50-50. I just said
you looked at this game for a while. You need to get some hops, man.
Yeah, a while, like 25, 30 seconds maybe.
Oh, okay.
While for this game.
And what did you say?
I came to the conclusion it's a toss-up, and I said pick 'em.
PK. All right.
It is Arizona's plus 2.5.
Ooh. A little value on the home dog here, I think.
Yeah, you always like Arizona. I think Detroit's kind of bad, so I think this is a toss-up, but I take the home team here if I had to take something. Again, this is a terrible game, but yeah, I'd take 2.5. If it got to 3, that would be great too.
Bro, you got Byron Leftwich calling plays. I mean, what more do you want? Chase Edmonds getting involved. They just beat the Packers, and they're underdogs at home.
You love this. I don't know why you love this team so much.
You need some Cardinals.
Fine. I lean Cardinals as well. Just it's more of like these teams are both below average, non-playoff teams to me, and they're pretty. I mean, I think Arizona has a better defense, and I think Detroit has a little bit better offense. But
Arizona just lost Christian Kirk, though.
Okay.
So who's on there? Who are they throwing to?
Fitz
and Jaron Brown. Is he still there?
I don't really care, to be honest, who they're throwing to.
Other John Brown, I think, is still there.
John Brown is on the.
No, there's 2 John Browns.
No.
One of them.
Jaron Brown.
Jaron Brown. And
there's no 2 John Browns.
Jaron Brown, didn't he go to the Seahawks?
I think so. I don't know what we're getting into here. I agree. I think we're kind of on the same page. It's more of this game. These teams are kind of even. I think Arizona's a little bit better defensively. And Detroit's offense hasn't even been that good this year either. So I think it's if I had to take, what?
Yeah, they just have Kenny Golladay. Basically.
Yeah, and I mean just because they traded Tate and lost Jones, and I think Marion Johnson's also out, so they're kind of just beat up. So I don't think Josh Rosen's very good, which hurts. But he's all right. I guess he's kind of bad, but I just think
probably how they made the line. You're going to give Stafford. You're not going to make Stafford an underdog against Josh Rosen.
If you look at Stafford versus Rosen, that's the reason you're looking at the Lions here. But if I'm looking at ignoring the quarterback, or not ignoring, but looking at the rest of everything, I think Arizona has slightly better than Detroit. but in every other aspect. But to me, the reason I thought it was a pick 'em is that Stafford, I guess, gets it close to even. But if I take the points here, but I wouldn't really want to watch this game or have much.
This game kind of seems like similar in the respect to the Denver Niners game, where it's probably a lower total, but could go over with a potential both quarterbacks throwing the ball around a lot.
I don't even know what the total. What do you think? What do you think the total is?
I don't know, 42.5, 43. Maybe a little higher because Detroit.
40. No, I guess Detroit has Slay and a couple of decent guys on D, but I think Arizona's D is
what was the number? 41, you said?
40.
40, yeah. So that's a low number.
Mm-hmm.
Couple pick sixes in there.
I don't know. I mean, I guess over if I had to take something there, and I think over and I mean I take Arizona. Just like I said, I just think they're pretty even, and I think as a home dog, it's hard not to like that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. A couple better games on the board.
Yep.
All right, next you got 4 o'clock. Ooh, East Coast for Midwest 4 o'clock. Eagles at Cowboys.
Big game for the playoffs for both of them.
Yeah. What do you think the line was? This was a tough one, I thought.
I didn't think it was that tough. I think Dallas has been a little bit better, and they're at home here. I had Dallas minus 3.5, just because it has to be over 3, just because they're playing decently well right now.
Yeah, I thought 4.5. I said
reasonable too.
3. Yeah, this definitely. I was thinking it could have gotten up to like the Vegas zone, 5.5, but then I'm like, this is probably going to be too many points for Wentz and the Eagles, who might be turning it on a little bit.
Playing a little better, and they're gotten a little.
4.5's a good number.
It's 3.5, but I think it's gonna. Yeah, it's 3.5 right now, and I think it's right in that range that we're both 3.5, 4.5 range. Philly has played a little better, and they're getting some of their corners back, which was pretty bad for a while. And they do have. I don't know if I really believe in Dallas completely. They're playing obviously pretty well. I think they're pretty evenly matched here.
Yeah, I think this is actually a good sell high on the Cowboys.
I
really like their defense, and I think they're a good team, and I think they're better than the Eagles. But I think you could also add in this is a good buy low on the Eagles.
I think they're close, and I agree that Dallas is at a kind of a high, and the Eagles, even though they've played a little better the last 2 weeks, people in their minds have said they're kind of bad. But if it's a big game. I think it'll be close. I think I take the Eagles here.
Yeah, I'm kind of lean the Eagles. My worry is that they might be away. Maybe they're a bit of a public dog.
Do you think? I mean, Dallas is a popular team, and they just beat the Saints, so I don't know that that's the case. And the Eagles have looked pretty bad.
I'm looking at the rest of the board. As of now, other than the Colts, the Eagles seem like a very public dog.
I could see it. I don't know, but I think people like Dallas. Like I think people
they do, and they're coming off that Saints win.
So that's why I don't know. I mean, maybe they are a public dog, but to me, people have kind of already written Dallas into the playoffs as the NFC East team. That's what the vibe I get. That Dallas is that team. I think the Eagles aren't that much worse than them. I think Dallas is playing a little bit better.
Yeah, Peterson and Wentz are he's a good coach, good quarterback.
I think this is a tight game, and I think could come down near the end, like someone trailing and trying to go for a score.
Their offense is coming more and more alive. They got like Sproles back. They got Tate working him in. Even Matthews getting involved. Alshon, Ertz. Like they have a lot of weapons.
So, and I think they've even started to, like you said, Sproles and Josh Adams has started to run a little bit better. I think the Eagles, Zeke obviously is a big problem. So if he kind of controls the clock, that'll help Dallas. They could win that game with that. But I think Philly has a little bit better offense. I think Dallas has a little bit better defense. I do think they're close. I think these teams are relatively closely matched, though, and you're getting over a field goal in a tough divisional game. That's really maybe it's a must-win really for the Eagles, and Dallas winning this game kind of might be it helped them get into the playoffs. It kind of secures it a little bit more. big game. And I just think
they almost locked in the division. I think.
What if they win this?
I think they're almost basically locked in. Maybe they need one more after this, but
Philly's one game behind them right now. So if they win, it's tied. So
you also got revenge. They've just played. Eagles want to get them back. They blew the game at home.
Well, it's a must-win for Philly. It's Dallas doesn't. Yeah. If Dallas loses, they could still win the division. But I mean, Philly's more desperate. That's definitely the case. I don't know that it matters. Like if Dallas is just better than them, which is possible. But I mean, Dallas's defense and Zeke have been pretty dominant, especially lately. But I do think Philly has gotten back up. Like they looked horrendous. That Saints game was like the lowest I've ever seen them for last few years. But Wentz is still solid. He hasn't been great this year, to be honest, but he's still a decent quarterback. And I just think these teams are decently close. So I think it's and with Philly's desperation, I think I take the points here with them.
I think we're in agreement, like the Eagles. All right.
Last 4:00 game, I believe. The Steelers at the Raiders.
Pitt at Oakland in the black hole. What'd you have?
I was a little bit high, just because I guess I have to think Oakland's pretty bad. But I guess they've been staying in games.
You hit double digits?
I went over a double, yeah. I went to plus 12.5. I went a little – I didn't think it would be like 13, 14, but I thought – Pittsburgh's one of the better teams in the AFC, off a tough loss last week. Kind of angry over that. So and Raiders are still honestly they traded all their good players away. They're kind of playing for that early pick. So I mean, I didn't know what to do with it. I thought it had to be at least double digits though. So that's what I was thinking.
I was right under double digits, and honestly, the Raiders, if they didn't choked away the Chargers game. They were covering that. They won the Cardinals.
You say choked away, you mean covering or winning?
Covering. Choked away the cover. Choked away the cover against Baltimore. And then they cover against the Chiefs. So they've been close to covering their last 4 or 5 games.
But dude, I don't know. They still lost by 25 to the Ravens, and they were back and forth on the Chiefs.
Oh, they didn't lose by 25.
I don't count that as they blew a cover. I thought they weren't like that wasn't like
the last 4 minutes when they had a fumble pick 6 on.
They were still, yeah, and before that it was kind of close. It wasn't like they were clearly covering. It was kind of
they were 13-point dogs. They were down by 10.
Yeah, so it was close either way. Like it was not a sure thing they were going to cover that game. I also think the Chiefs could have the Chiefs won by 7. They could have scored another touchdown and been right near that. I don't think you're hanging your hat on the Raiders kind of staying somewhat in games.
Well, let me say my guess first. I said the Raiders are 9.5-point underdogs.
Okay, it's
under double digits.
It's 10, so it just got to double digits.
Okay, so they put it at double digits. Pittsburgh off that bad loss on the road. They should get back on track and smash this team.
They should. I do agree the Raiders have played a little bit better, but they just don't have talent. They've traded all their talented players away. I don't, and honestly, they're better off losing at this point. If they're even Gruden, like since he traded those guys away, he knows they're obviously rebuilding. So, I mean, they should lose. It's a matter of will they lose by 10 plus. And I think Pittsburgh needs this. Like Pittsburgh, obviously they're a better home team.
Connor's out though.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think I don't feel great laying 10 points. So but I don't think. I think if I took anything, I'd take Pittsburgh. I think they're still a solid team, still one of the better teams in the AFC. I don't think they're as good as the top 1 or 2. I think they're just under that group. But it's they really, if they play how they if these teams play up to their talent level, Pittsburgh should win by handily. So I mean, if I don't love laying whenever it's 10 points plus, it's tough to do much. Unless you really feel strongly, but
yeah, I don't feel strongly about it, but I could see possibly Big Ben having one of his like road games where he throws like 3 picks and like they look awful and they're down like 17-13 in the 4th, and then they come back and like win by 8 or 7.
I could see that. It's not. I don't know. But like the Raiders are better off losing. So that and Gruden's traded all his good players away, and they need it. He probably is better off with a good pick, and he's kind of doing that. So he knows what they are. And Pittsburgh kind of needs a win after that.
Yeah, but it's never that easy because the players and the front office, their motivations aren't really aligned. The players can't go out and easily just fold over or not try.
Players are obviously going to try it.
They're getting,
and they don't want. If you look bad, you're going to get caught and you're not going to play in the league. Of course, they're trying. But my point is, the Raiders aren't putting a talented group of players out there. So if you look, obviously they're going to try, but the Steelers have a much better talented team, and they theoretically, if everything plays out how it should, which does not always happen in the NFL, so the Raiders could easily keep this a game, and Steelers have one of their.
What's the total here? Is it pretty high? Like 47, 48?
I'd expect it high. Yeah, 51.5.
So that means they're expected to. They're expected to probably score high 30s.
I don't know. I think the Raiders. I think Derek Carr's kind of slumping. He hasn't looked very good after we thought he was kind of one of the
good. Their implied point total is like high 20s, like 30.
So what?
No, I'm just saying. They're Vegas. Yeah, they're basically thinking that Steelers are gonna score 30, 31 points.
Well, of course, they also think the Steelers are going to win by 10. That's what we're trying to figure out. What actually is going to happen, though.
I would say, I don't know. I don't really love this game. I don't
either. If I had to take something, I'd take Pittsburgh just because they're better, obviously, and they off a bad loss here, and the Raiders.
They say the Steelers would be a good addition to the public sucker teaser of the week.
But do you think the Raiders could win this game?
Unlikely.
I mean, obviously anything could happen, but to me, it's just. And you're right. It's if Big Ben has one of his atrocious road games where he's just all over the place, turning the ball over.
Like the Jags game. There's been a couple of those road games this year, I feel like.
And he could definitely do that. And I think even if that happens, though, it'll be tight and the Steelers would win in the fourth quarter, like in a tight game. But I still think if that's one of the realms of possibility, the other one would be the Steelers are just kind of dominate them and hold the 13 to 17 point lead for most of the game in that range, like back and forth, but right around there.
All right. Let's move on. We've spent 7 minutes on this game.
Okay.
Unless you have any last closing thoughts.
No, I mean, I'd probably take Pittsburgh, but I don't love it.
Yeah. I don't know. Tough game.
Yeah, so 2 good games here for the Sunday, Monday night. So maybe the game of the week here Sunday night, we got the Rams at Bears.
Oh, Sunday night game, yes. Okay. What was your guess?
So it was tough. I obviously assumed Trubisky's back because it'd be tough with the backup here.
Back.
I had Bears plus 1.5.
Wow. A lot of respect for the Bears.
They've been good this year.
You're making me think I'm way off here. I said the Bears are getting 4.5.
It's 3. So we're kind of right in the right both between us.
Bears plus 3. Yeah, I mean, wow. Good game. I am a Bears fan. I think they're a really solid team. Their defense is great. And their offense is just playing pretty well. I like their system. Great. But he's also really good. It feels like the Rams are just not slowing down. I mean, they weren't even trying. I feel like they easily covered and won against the Lions.
They didn't easily cover. They scored at the end to cover. It was a close game. It was a tight game for most of it. And in the fourth quarter, the Rams kind of had a late touchdown or something, or a couple scores late and covered. They didn't look overly dominant against the Lions, but the Lions also suck. So it is a road game against a good defense. So I don't know. I think the Rams are a little bit better, but the better team doesn't always win. And I think the Bears are off a loss, and they're at home here. This is a game I think the Bears can win. I think the Bears can win this game.
I think this is a good game for the Bears in prime time. their defense to step up and expose Goff.
I mean, McVay's so good. Both these are two of the young offensive
Make him run for his life. Like I can see him having like a bunch of incompletions, getting rushed. Khalil Mack might have a freaking field day, making Goff's life miserable.
Pretty exciting. Two of the best MVP, the last defensive MVPs or defensive player of the years, and 2 MVP candidates even, but probably won't win. I'm
liking the Bears here. I wish it was 3. I wish they got that hook to 3.5.
I agree. If it was 3.5, I'd take them. I definitely would take them. I still think 3. I think it's a close game. I think the Bears could win this game. I mean, the Rams are a good team. I think it's. Again, I just think it's kind of a toss-up. Even though the Rams are a little better, the Bears are at home. It's in cold weather. In Chicago, windy Chicago's a tough place to play, too.
Bears off the loss.
Yeah, I think I like the Bears here. I think it's a close game.
Honestly, who do you think is even better? Just comparing Goff or Trubisky?
I honestly don't love either. So I don't think either of those quarterbacks are that great. I think both coaches are very, very. They have such good systems that they have solid talent around the quarterbacks, but I think the quarterbacks are mediocre. I think Trubisky is better. Trubisky's leading the league in yards per rush.
He's a good mobile quarterback, and Goff just sits in the pocket and is a non-running mobile quarterback.
Yeah, but Goff's played great just because McVay gets guys open with how he moves them around. So I think both of these coaches are very good offensive systems. And then you have 2 of the best defensive players in the league, and the Bears have a slightly better defense overall. I think the Bears have the Rams have a little bit better offense, but I think this is close enough to be could go either way, and I just think it's a game that the Rams could lose, and I think I take the 3 points, and I think it's possible the Bears even win outright.
Bears could do it outright. I agree.
So
pretty good game.
Let's get to that last one. Running a little late here, so another good game here. Monday night we got the Vikings at Seahawks. Kind of a must win for both trying to get into the playoffs here. Yeah.
I like the Seahawks team. They've been playing really well. That was a great call last week when we just thought they were going to come out and smash the Niners at home, classic at home. Seattle win by 30 points.
They did.
Vikings are just fucking not looking good at all.
Said about them. They have good players. It's just they haven't played up to what they should, to be honest. And we said it, and we even last week we still bought into them because they have the players to be good, but to me they haven't really played well this year at all overall. They had a terrible loss at home to that was one of the biggest spreads ever, that the Vikings Buffalo game when they lost that.
Oh, back in week 3. That's so long ago though.
That's kind of how their season's gone. They should be killing everyone and they're just not doing it at all.
They look good against the Packers and then shit the bed against the Patriots. They shit the bed against the
Bears. Good against the Packers. They won by 7, right? It wasn't a dominant win.
They looked okay, yeah.
They played. They should have won, but I don't think they just haven't been good this year, to be honest. And Seattle's kind of on the upswing here. Bobby Wagner, my boy, see that 90+ yard interception return. Their defense.
I didn't see that. Frank Clark also playing unreal this year.
Yeah, their defense is not great as it used to be, but it's still solid. They got some really good players. Clark and Wagner come to mind. And then Seattle just has Russell, who's finally playing a lot better. They still don't throw the ball a lot, but they go for big plays to Lockett and them. And then they run the ball down your throat with. They have a bunch. They have 3 running backs they could even use. And Carson's looked good this year I think. What do you have this? We didn't even get to the spreads. Let's do it. What do you got?
I had to say, I had Seattle 3-point favorite.
I did as well, and it's 3. So it makes sense.
Pretty much what I expected. I don't really. I want to take Seattle.
I think I like Seattle. I don't love it. I just think I'm getting sick of. I'm just sick of taking Minnesota. They haven't been good this year. You think Minnesota, who looks good, getting 3 points is nice, but Seattle's a tough home team. I don't love it, but if I was going to take something here, I think Seattle's kind of playing better and overall than Minnesota right now, and they're at home, and I think they win. And I don't love it. If it was 2.5, that'd be great. But I still think I'd take them at 3.
As much as I love Seattle this year, and I think they're good, I think this is I wish there was a few more points, but I think Vikings they have enough weapons on offense to just spread out the Seattle defense and maybe, score a bunch of points here. I kind of like the Vikings again getting 3.
Yeah, I feel like I've done that all year where I'm like the Vikings as a dog, it's too good to pass up, and they just really haven't been that good this year. And I don't think Cousins hasn't been great this year, to be honest. Thielen's come back down to earth.
It's also a good defense. Like when the Seahawks run into good defenses, like they kind of fucked up. They lost to Denver week 1, good defense.
Where in Denver?
In Denver, lost at Chicago, good defense.
Yeah, look at their home games.
Chargers, great defense, and lost to the Rams, pretty good defense, but that was a high-scoring game.
I'm talking about Seattle at home here.
Yeah.
They're much different at home, and the Chargers and Rams are 2 of the best teams in the league.
Vikings have a good defense, though.
Yeah, but I feel like we keep getting suckered into them because they should be good, and I feel like to me it seems like the Vikings seem like an easy play in the sense that this is a toss-up. Let's take the 3 points with Minnesota. That seems like what you should do. I just think Seattle's playing better, and I think Minnesota isn't as good as they should be.
But it's also not as obvious as you're making it out to be because Vikings have looked so shitty.
They haven't, but to people, what's their record? Like, I feel like people still think Minnesota's good, and they're in games. I don't feel great about it because I do think Minnesota should be better than they are. So it seems like they could win this game, but I think Seattle's a tough home team.
The Vikings are 6-5-1, so they're still above 500.
Yeah, and I still feel like they just haven't played well this year. I think Seattle's kind of hit their stride a little.
I know what I'm saying, though. They haven't played well this year. It might be a decent buy low spot.
We said that last week.
Yeah, that was getting 5.5, and now they're getting 3. So
yeah, the Patriots are better than Seattle.
I know that, but so this could easily have been a pick 'em this game.
If it was a pick 'em, I think everyone with how Seattle's played, 3 is the right number. We both said it, and it's kind of because it seems like they're somewhat relatively even teams, and you got to give the home team, especially with home teams like Seattle with that home crowd, a little bit of love, which is the 3 points there. But I think, again, I don't love it just because if Minnesota played how they should, I think that they'd be the play. But I'm sick of getting burned by them, and I think Seattle has played better of late, and I think they're a solid team. I don't love it, but if I had to take something, I'd take Seattle.
And the last 3 games, Seattle's won at home against the Packers, at Carolina, home against the Niners. Those aren't very good defenses, any of them. Vikings were significantly better than all those defenses.
Yeah, I mean, at Panthers is a nice win. And then the Packers is tight. It's not a bad. That's a decent win there. And then they killed the Niners. I probably wouldn't. I don't think I love it enough to take it just because, like I said, the Vikings. If they played like how they can, if they played up to their potential, it would be a good play. But I feel like they just haven't been that good this year. So yeah, I mean. The 3 is the right number. It makes it tough to like either side.
It's a tough game. I think I'd probably lean Vikings at the end of the day, but I don't feel that confident about it. I just like getting the points. I think they're in a position where they'll play better than they have been playing.
Yeah, we said that last week, literally word for word. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably lay off the game, to be honest. But gun to my head, I take Seattle.
All right, let's wrap it up and see. So what are your favorite plays of the week?
I don't know. All right, I'll go in order here. I guess Chicago.
Yeah.
I like Philly. I like KC. And yeah, those are the ones I like the most. I guess I also have slight leans on I guess Cleveland, Atlanta, um, Arizona I like too. And that's yeah, I guess maybe Seattle again too. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Bears and the Eagles. I also think the Bucks are a nice home dog. I like the Packers at home, Rodgers game, and I think Panthers are gonna smack the Browns.
Yeah. Wait, you think Carolina smacks the Browns? You
Yeah,
feel that good about it?
yeah, I think they smack them.
Yeah. I mean, I also kind of like the Giants. I don't love it, but
Weird game though. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I just jotted them down now. So again, Chicago, Philly, um, Arizona, and
So
then and KC are probably my favorites. And then, like I said, Cleveland, Atlanta, Seattle are the ones I'd also take if and the Giants if I for the rest if I had to take something.
So looking at new segment, what would you say is the public sucker teaser of the week? Because teasers have just been crushing books this year. All I've been hearing is that the lines have been so close that teasers are winning left and right. Vegas losing a shitload of money on teasers. They might even make the juice minus 150 or minus 160 on 7-point teasers. What are a couple games that you think could lose in a teaser that people will like as the public sucker teaser of the week? I think one of them I said would be you throw in Pittsburgh, who's minus 10, which would make them a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could end up being in a tight one there, but they should win. I guess they could end up winning by a couple points instead.
And so Pittsburgh and Saints, you make the Saints, what were they? 9.
10.
So yeah, you have Pittsburgh minus 3 and the Saints minus 3. Saints against the at Bucks and Pittsburgh at Raiders. It's 2 road favorites. One of them might lose. You also got maybe Houston is like a pick'em or +1 could be one that that fucks people.
Yeah, usually you shouldn't go over 0, but I guess people might just be like, "Oh, we can get Houston to win; they should win." And I could see
This is only a 4-point favorite, so yeah, they'd be like +2 or a half, 2.5.
Indy's another one we kind of both said we like. I don't know about the teasing. I don't really see any obvious.
Patriots -1. That's another one.
Yeah, to me, I'm also looking when I look at a game. I'm kind of looking. I'm trying to. If I think the game's close enough, I'm trying to take the dog if I can. So I'd be teasing dogs up to higher numbers. But again,
most people though, I feel like take big favorites and tease them to small favorites.
And that's how that's my. And you're right. That's what most people are doing. But that's I haven't really looked through it. So and I don't really think like I don't really like to do that. So I don't know. Maybe KC. People think they should win there, but I think they do win, obviously. But I guess Baltimore could theoretically win. But I like KC.
As like a pick'em. You know what looks nice though? If you make if you put the Bears, this is a little risky, but you put the Bears to 11.5 and the Eagles to like 10.5. It's a nice little dog teaser.
Yeah. I mean, it is scary though. You could get, I mean, I agree because
just win by double digits.
We like both those teams, but you do never know. The Rams could end up they're a scary team to go against, but again, we do like them, so I don't think it's a bad idea.
Would you be more confident if you tease the Chiefs to a -1 or the Ravens to +13.5?
Well, I think I like the Chiefs in this game, so I'd probably say them.
That could be another one. The Chiefs are another one who could be a public tease that like if they just lose the Ravens, which is not inconceivable.
Yeah, the Ravens aren't. They have a good defense, but again, I think the Chiefs are just a little bit better team overall. But you're right, it's possible. Again, I'm not really trying to do teasers. I'd rather not.
Me neither. You like a team, bet it straight. Fuck the teasers. Fuck those 7 pussy points. Just take the team either to win straight up or with the spread as given.
So this is the issue. The NFL is so hard as it is. Why are you making it harder on yourself and having to deal with 3 games I know you're getting better points, but I'd rather just pick the game straight up and hopefully hit over half of them.
Exactly. Just go for what you think's going to happen and take it as it is. Don't try to teaser this bullshit. But people love teasers and they're crushing the book, so it's worth talking about.
But if it's killing the books right now, I feel like it'll regress it'll start going the other way at some point.
Hey, it'll balance out. That's why I like looking at the public sucker teaser of the week, which I think could include any of those teams we mentioned, the Patriots, the Saints, or the Chiefs.
Yeah, next week we can look at it ahead of time. It's just hard to on the spot pick it. So if we want to look next time ahead of time, we can we'll make a note of it and we can do it better a little next week.
All right. So I think that's all we got for today. Any last things you want to touch on? A couple good games this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about. I think when we went through what we liked. What would you say your favorite pick is?
Maybe the Panthers. Not sure. A couple good ones. Bears.
I find it somewhere in there.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
so we got this week. Crush your books. Hit us up on Twitter at Gorbachev Kman. Twitter at Gorbachev Kman. Good luck this week. Make that money.